Good morning, everybody. My name is Barry Schwartz, and this is the Search Buzz video recap. Today is Friday, August 14th, and there is a fire behind me. The reason for that, there was some massive Google bugs this week. Lasted for several hours. That totally disrupted the search results. What happened? Google said it was an indexing system failure. More on that soon, so stay tuned. All right, so like I was saying, there was some massive Google bug on August 10th. It started around 1 p.m. Eastern. It really spiked around 5 p.m. Eastern on August 10th, where the search results were just all over the place. People thought it was a Google update. I initially thought, wait, what's all this chatter? It must be a Google update. And as I wrote about it and quoted more and more people, it just seemed wrong. I just looked at the search results. Things seemed outdated. Things seemed like search sites that should have been ranking were not ranking. I even tweeted, like, if this is a massive bug, that would be wild. And Paul Har from Google, senior Google engineer who's been working at Google for, I think, plus 20 years, basically said it was a bug. He didn't tweet about that until the next day after Google confirmed it. But in any event, there was a massive bug. Again, it started around 1 p.m. on Monday, August 10th. It lasted through about midnight of that day. So around, I think it stopped at 11:45 p.m. Eastern on August 10th. Again, massive ranking changes. It lasted several hours. Google said it was a glitch. Google tweeted about it later on that day on August 11th. Google said, well, basically first John Mueller tweeted around 12:42 a.m. on Tuesday morning, which was normal time Zurich. He said, I don't have all the details yet, but it seems like this was a glitch on our side and has been fixed in the meantime. And all the SEOs that were noticing and tracking this saw their traffic for their clients and their own websites go back to normal, at least the new normal. So it did seem to actually be a fix that Google fixed. And then Google posted on Twitter using the Google Webmaster channel more details about the glitch. Not much. It basically said, on Monday, we detected an issue that with our indexing system that affected Google's search results. Once the issue was identified, it was promptly fixed by our site reliability engineers, and by now it has been mitigated. Thanks for your patience. So all right, so it was specifically around indexing system issues, and of course, it's all connected. Your indexing issues could affect your search results, of course, because if you're having problems indexing stuff, or your index gets broken, breaks, or something like that, of course, the search results are going to be messed up. So Gary had to tweet the indexing system Caffeine, which is something they actually launched 10 plus years ago. I'm a little surprised they're still using it. Does multiple things, he said. It ingests fetch logs, it renders and converts fetch data, it extracts links, meta-structured data, extracts and computes some signals, schedules new crawls, and builds the index that is pushed to serving. He says sometimes something goes wrong with something else, etc. It could trickle down and so forth, and they're all connected, yada yada. It's basically oversimplifying things, but then he goes into more details, which I discuss, and maybe I'll spend a few minutes talking about that. He said we still had the index database, but something was wrong with it because of how it was built by Caffeine, which again is the index itself, the technology they used to build the index. That's why we said it was an indexing issue, which manifested as a ranking issue externally. So the indexing issue caused what we saw ranking issues to us as searchers and as SEOs. Also, we can rebuild the whole serving index database within hours. Yes, we can, he said. And then he said the index database from where the results were served was incorrect because of how Caffeine built it. That's why the ranking was affected. And he said he would classify this not as a strange data, but a strange index would be more correct, he said. Basically, from what I understand is something broke with Caffeine, the system that builds the index. And when it did that, it generated this really weird set of index results of pages in the index. And Google's serving, the ranking was the same, but Google was serving a strange index, a strange set of search results. So again, Google fixed it, but it was one of these massive Google bugs that we haven't seen in a really long time. And again, it all stemmed from the index. It wasn't like Google couldn't index new content. Google was definitely indexing new content. But what it was showing from its index was completely weird. All right, moving on. Google also published a new video about how Google continues to improve its search results. It was an interesting video because it covered a lot of things, including that it released about 3,600 new changes in 2019. And it was really specific. I think it was aimed at the US congressional hearing from a few weeks ago, where Google was kind of under attack about how it manipulates the search results to benefit itself and so forth. And this video basically shows that no, it does not. It can't manually update its main search results if something goes wrong and it goes against their policies. Google said that it could go ahead and change certain knowledge panels and search features. But in general, Google just continues to improve its algorithms through multiple means. It's a good video to show your clients basically on how Google search works and how Google changes search results going forward. This is weird. So you know how Google has a feature where if you go to a feature snippet and you click on it, sometimes it will take you to the web page, anchor you down to a certain section on that web page, and highlight that in yellow text or yellow background text. Now Google's kind of testing this. I can replicate it. According to Glenn Gabe, he was able to see it on his own site, where if you go to Google image search, do a search, some images might actually anchor you down and highlight the text there, which makes absolutely no sense to me, because an image result it's not a feature snippet. A feature snippet which basically takes you to an answer on a web page, or an image result is just an image result. So I'm not sure why Google's testing it there, but it's very interesting to see that. Google's also testing people also ask on the right sidebar. We've seen this with people also search for, but now Google's testing this on the right sidebar for people also ask, which is interesting. Google's testing search results without borders. Not sure if this is some political statement about borders and lockdowns and stuff like that, but in any event, Google's testing search results without any borders, without outlines or borders or anything around search features or even search result snippets. Very interesting for Google to see that. Google in India launched what's called Google People Cards, or virtual visiting cards, where you could claim your own card, update your information about yourself, and share that with your friends. A lot of SEOs that I know are VPNing into India to get their own card. You can do that as well if you want. All you got to do is search for Add Me to Search on your mobile device. Make sure you're in India when you're doing that, and you could go ahead and get your People Card. Google has an excellent video out about canonicalization. It's really Martin Splitt and Rachel Costello went ahead and did this SEO myth busting thing, which you've seen before. Great videos in general, but Martin Splitt basically said that canonicalization is all about duplication management by Google, to reduce the duplicate URLs in the Google search results and to reduce duplication in search. So it's a great video. You should definitely watch it if you are interested. It's not a long video. It's pretty short, and it kind of helps you understand the concepts around canonicalization. Google's John Mueller said, again, that guest blog post links, the links in guest blog posts have absolutely zero value. And whenever John Mueller talks about guest blogs or anything around that, SEOs go crazy. So enjoy those comments in that post. Google's John Mueller also said there's no such thing as having too many outbound links. It could go ahead and impact your content to content ratio in general, where Google doesn't find as much content if you're just showing links in general, just links on your website. But having a lot of links, Google's not going ahead and penalizing your site just because you have lots of natural outbound links. If you're just linking out unnaturally, of course you get a penalty for doing unnatural links, but if you're having normal outbound links, there's nothing wrong with having a lot of them. Google said it's not correct to say that Google will go ahead and look at your disavow files across the web, create a list, and say, all right, all these sites that are in disavow files, we're going to go ahead and put on a separate list to monitor them more closely. Google does not go ahead and monitor sites that are in disavow links. Google's rich results test now supports showing article structure data. So the rich results test has been upgraded continuously because now it's out of beta, and they're trying to get rid of the structured data testing tool, which has other features. So Google keeps putting more and more features in the rich result test, and now that rich result test now supports article structure data. Google said it doesn't help to have image licenses or copyrights. It won't help you with rankings if you're using the image markup, image license markup, or if you have copyrights in your images. Google launched a new feature around local reviews where they're asking more questions when you actually go ahead and ask to review a local listing. So for service level businesses, if you click, I'm going to review that business, it's going to ask you on Google, did you use that business? Just to make sure that while you're reviewing this business, did you use that business or not? And it also then asks you, what did you use them for? What type of service did they perform for you? So Google's really drilling down and saying, if you are reviewing businesses, go ahead and let us know if you use them, and if you use them, what do you use them for? Google My Business has upgraded its inline business editing in Google Search and Maps. Google in 2017 launched a feature where you can actually go ahead and manage your business listing in Google Search and Google My Maps by editing, even in the iOS and Android apps. But Google kind of said, oh, we yesterday they announced, oh, we have a new way for businesses to go ahead and update their Google My Business listings directly in search of maps. Again, it's been out since 2017, three plus years. But they did make improvements. You could do more inline editing than you were able before. They updated the underlining search functionality. They now let you respond to Q&A directly in there. There's a few more features in there, but it's not brand new. So whatever Google said around that as it being brand new, it is definitely not brand new. It's been out for a while, but Google did update the functionality around that. Google My Business also is showing you, which is really cool, if a restaurant has a source of menu where Google's pulling the menu from, it's going to show you that your menu is actually managed by an external service. So if single platform is managing it and so forth, it will say, hey, single platform is managing it for you, go there to fix it. Of course, you don't want to because they will charge you for it, single platform. What you want to do is manage your menu directly with Google for free, and you could do that, and Google gives you a way to do that and override the external service that's doing that. Great feature by Google. Glad they added that feature. Google AdSense is dropping paying their publishers through Western Union soon. So if you are getting payments through Western Union, which a lot of people are doing overseas, you might want to look for a different payment option. Google Merchant Center has a new attribute to exclude your products from showing up in certain countries. It's like a little HTML or markup tag attribute where you can actually basically say these products in the XML feed exclude from these specific countries using the country code, which is pretty cool. Google also finally launched their Webmaster conference. They're doing a virtual conference, and they're calling it an Unconference because there are no real presentations. It's going to be 18 sessions where there's going to be 20 to 30 people in each session with Googlers as well, and you're going to have a dialogue directly with Googlers. There's not going to be any presentations. Say, let's talk about this topic, and there's going to be some type of dialogue between Googlers and the people in the sessions. It's completely sold out. It was sold out within a few hours. Google opened up more seats the next day, and then it was sold out again. Google's hoping to have about 20 to 30 people per session. I think I got into almost every single one but one because, as you know, I'm quick. And they have over 500 people on the wait list. So Google said if it works out well, they're going to do more of these, so don't worry. Just subscribe to me, this channel. On Twitter, you'll see if I find anything quick. I post it really quickly, and if you follow me, you will be notified of any of these changes. In any event, thanks so much for listening to the Search Buzz video recap. Again, Monday was wild. Hope you guys enjoyed that because everything's back to normal. In any event, today again is Friday, August 14th. Everyone have a great weekend. Be safe, be well, and I'll see you guys next week. Goodbye.